Today, we're not just talking about motivation, we're talking about transformation. Because no matter how your life has looked until now, no matter how many times you've failed, been hurt, or felt stuck, your story is not finished. And you hold the pen. Maybe people judged you by your past. Maybe you've judged yourself. But remember this: the greatest stories in history were not written by perfect people. They were written by people who refused to quit. This video is your turning point. So sit back, take a deep breath, and let's begin the most important chapter of your life. The chapter where you change your life story forever. Part 1. You are not your past. Most people live the same chapter. Again and again. Think about it. Many people live the same year 10 times and call it a life. They wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, scroll on their phone, sleep, repeat. They stay stuck in the same pain, same mindset, same habits, same story, every day. They say things like, "This is just who I am. My life can't change now. I failed before, so I'll fail again. People like me don't succeed." But these are not facts. These are beliefs. And beliefs can be changed. You're not trapped. You're just holding the wrong pen. Imagine this. You're reading a book, and it's full of pain. The hero is suffering. They've lost hope. But you suddenly realize you are the writer. You can stop writing sadness. You can create a twist. You can write the chapter where the hero wakes up, fights back, and rises again. That hero is you. Your story is not fixed. It's editable. Let's break this myth. You are not stuck with the life you were born into. You are not stuck with the failures you've had. You are not stuck with the pain you carry. Your life story is like a movie, and you are the scriptwriter. You can change the next scene, starting today. Example: the factory worker who became a teacher. Let's talk about a man named Samuel, not a real person, but a true kind of story. Samuel worked in a factory. Day after day, he packed boxes. No one respected him. He had failed in school, and people told him he was not smart. For 10 years, he lived that same story. But one day, during his break, he saw a book in the trash. He picked it up. It was about learning English. He started reading one page every day. One page became one chapter. One chapter became one book. After 2 years, he started teaching English to kids in his area. People were shocked. How could a factory worker become a teacher? Because he changed his story. How can you change your life story? Here are 3 things you must do today. 1. Rewrite your identity. Don't say, "I'm lazy, I'm shy, I'm a failure." Say, "I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm creating a new chapter." Your identity is not fixed, it is flexible. 2. Change the meaning of your pain. Don't run away from your past. Use it, learn from it. Let your pain become your power. Say, "This pain made me wiser. This failure taught me something important. This mistake gave me strength." 3. Start with small wins. You don't need a huge plan. You just need a small decision. Read 5 pages of a good book today. Wake up 30 minutes earlier tomorrow. Speak 1 sentence in English to a stranger. Start one thing you've been avoiding. Small wins change your story 1 sentence at a time. Your life is not finished. Your story is not over. And your past does not define your future. You hold the pen. And starting today, you can write the most beautiful chapter of your life. Part 2. Change your environment, change your story. Your environment is like the soil in which you are planted. If the soil is dry, toxic, or full of weeds, even the strongest seed will struggle to grow. But if you plant that same seed in clean, healthy, supportive soil, it grows into a tree. Your mind works in the same way. If your environment is full of negativity, fear, laziness, and doubt, it will be almost impossible to write a new chapter in your life story. But if you surround yourself with learning, discipline, positive people, and peace, your story will change faster than you ever imagined. Most people stay in the wrong place for too long. Let's be honest. So many people feel stuck in life not because they are lazy or weak, but because they are stuck in the wrong environment. They are around people who say, "Why are you trying so hard?" That's impossible for someone like you. Just be normal, don't dream too big. And the worst part? They start believing it. They shrink their dreams. They stop trying. They stay in the same small circle for years because they are afraid to move. But you cannot fly if your cage is made of small minds. Example, the housemaid who became a business owner. Let's talk about a real type of person. Let's call her Grace. Grace worked as a housemaid in a big city. She cleaned floors, washed clothes, and earned very little. Her dream was to open her own food stall because she loved cooking. But every time she shared this dream with others, they laughed. You? A businesswoman? Just stick to your mop. For years, she stayed in that environment, full of insults and limits, until one day she changed her circle. She met a group of women who also had big dreams. They started learning together, saving money, and building each other up. With their encouragement, Grace started her own small food stall. At first, it was just one table on the roadside, but people loved her food. Today, she runs a small restaurant, employs others, and inspires young girls in her village. What changed? Not her talent. She always had that. She just changed her environment, and her story changed with it. What exactly is environment? Environment is not just your physical space. It includes the people you spend time with, the things you listen to, the books you read, the places you go, the energy around you. Your environment either pulls you forward or pulls you down. There is no neutral. How to clean your environment and rewrite your story. 1. Disconnect from negative people. If someone only calls you to gossip, distance yourself. If they laugh at your dreams, walk away. If they always see the problem, not the solution, reduce time with them. You don't need enemies when your friends doubt you. Protect your dream like a newborn baby. Only let kind hands hold it. 2. Fill your mind with growth. Listen to podcasts that challenge you. Read stories that inspire you. Watch videos that educate you. Don't waste your precious energy on toxic content. Your mind becomes what it consumes. Feed it powerfully. 3. Create a space that lifts you. Even if you live in one small room, make it your temple. Clean your space. Add a quote to the wall. Keep your books where you can see them. Light a candle. Play soft music. Keep your dream visible. You don't need luxury. You need intention. Example, the man who changed cities to change his mind. There was a young man who lived in a small town where no one supported education. Every day he heard, "Books won't feed you. Go get a job. Stop dreaming. Who do you think you are?" He saved money and moved to a new city, alone. There, he worked as a delivery boy, studied at night, and attended free seminars on weekends. He changed his story not by magic, but by changing his air, his circle, and his attitude. Today, he runs a coaching center, helping others rewrite their life stories. If your story feels stuck, Look around you. Look at the people, the energy, the sounds, the silence, the routine. Your environment is either feeding your greatness or your excuses. And the good news? You don't have to wait for permission to change it. You have the power to plant yourself in a better garden. You have the power to water your dreams. You have the power to grow into the strongest version of you. Change your environment and watch your story bloom. Part 3. Reprogram your mind. Break the old patterns. Your mind is like a computer. Imagine your brain is a computer. From the moment you were born, it started collecting data. From your parents, teachers, friends, society, failures, and even painful moments. And just like a computer can be programmed, your mind has been programmed too. But here's the truth. You did not choose all the programs running inside you. Some of them were installed by fear. Some were installed by other people's beliefs. Some by past failures. Some by accident. And if you want to change your life story, you must delete the old programs that are holding you back. Old mental programs that destroy dreams. Let's look at some toxic beliefs people carry for years. I'm not good enough. No one in my family has succeeded. Why should I? I always fail. I'm too old now. I'm not smart. I don't deserve a better life. I'll start someday. These are not facts. These are mental viruses. And if you don't remove them, they will control your actions, your confidence, your habits, and your future. Example: the mechanic who became a pilot. There was a boy who grew up in a poor family. His father fixed motorcycles. From childhood, everyone told him, "You'll also become a mechanic. That's your limit." And for a while, he believed it. But one day, he watched a plane fly overhead and said, "Why not me?" That one question started a new program in his mind. He began studying aircraft books from junk markets. He worked in the day, studied at night. He failed the pilot entrance test once, then again. People laughed. "You fix tires and want to fly in the sky?" But he didn't quit. He kept reprogramming his thoughts. After years of effort, he passed. Today, he wears a uniform and flies airplanes. What changed? Not his background, not his IQ, just his programming. How to reprogram your mind and break the patterns. Here are 4 powerful steps to rewire your brain and write a new life story. 1. Catch the thought and question it. Whenever your mind says, "I can't do this," pause and ask, "Why not me? Who said this is true? What proof do I have?" When you question the lie, it starts to lose power. 2. Replace the thought with power statements. Turn your self-doubt into a new truth. I am learning and growing. I am becoming stronger every day. My past does not define me. I deserve a better life, and I'm building it. Say these out loud every morning and night. Repetition rewires your brain, just like a song you hear again and again. 3. Visualize the new you. Close your eyes for 5 minutes every day. See yourself as the person you want to become. Confident, calm, speaking on stage, building your dream business, helping your family, walking with purpose. When you see it in your mind, your body begins to believe it's possible. That's how all great change begins, in the imagination. 4. Take tiny actions to match the new mindset. Don't just think, act. If you want to become healthy, take a 10-minute walk. If you want to speak English, say 1 sentence in public. If you want to be rich, save your first $10 today. If you want to be a leader, help 1 person today. Small actions in the real world create new belief systems in your brain. Breaking the loop. Most people repeat the same thought for 20 years. Here's what happens to many people. They had a failure at age 20. They still think about it at age 40. They never start again. They keep living the same story in repeat mode. Don't let that happen to you. Just because you felt unworthy once doesn't mean you are unworthy now. Just because you failed once doesn't mean you can't succeed this time. The mind holds on to old pain, but you have the power to release it. Real transformation happens in silence. Changing your mind doesn't always require applause. Sometimes the biggest change happens when you delete one toxic belief silently. You write a goal on a page when no one is watching. You forgive yourself. You whisper to yourself, I can. I will. I must. That is the beginning of a new life story. Reprogramming your mind is not a one-time thing. It's a daily commitment. Every day you must choose. Do I want to live the old story or write a new one? And each time you choose the new, you become stronger. You become freer. You become the author of a new future. The old program was given to you, but the new program, you write it with your own hands. Change your thoughts, and your story will follow. Part 4. Take ownership. Stop blaming, start creating. Blame is easy. Responsibility is power. When something goes wrong in life, blaming is the easiest thing to do. We blame our parents for not raising us better. We blame our teachers for not guiding us enough. We blame society for not giving us the right chances. We blame the economy, the country, the time, the weather, even luck. But blaming never changes the story. It only keeps us stuck in the same painful chapter. Because here's the truth. If you keep blaming others, you give them the pen. And the one who holds the pen writes the story. If you want to change your life, you must take the pen back. You must take ownership. The walls you build with excuses. Excuses sound safe. They make us feel protected. I'm not successful because my family is poor. I can't grow because I didn't get a good education. I'm not happy because people always hurt me. I'm too old to change now. I don't have time, energy, support, money, luck. But each excuse is like a brick. And every time you use one, you build a wall around yourself. That wall becomes a prison. And one day, you look around and realize you locked yourself inside. The story doesn't move forward because you're waiting for someone to open the door. But the key has always been in your own hand. Example: the man who lost his job and built a school. David worked as a computer teacher at a private school. One day, during a financial crisis, the school shut down. He lost his job. He was 38, had a wife, 2 kids, and 0 savings. At first, he blamed the school. He blamed the government. He blamed the system. But after 1 week of crying, he asked himself, what can I create with what I have? He had a second-hand laptop, teaching skills, passion for education, an empty garage. So he cleaned the garage, printed a few posters, and started giving computer classes to kids in his neighborhood. Only 3 students came the first week. He taught them with full heart. Word spread. In 3 months, 30 students. In 1 year, he rented a bigger space. Today, he runs a computer coaching center that trains 500+ students a year. What changed? He stopped blaming and started creating. That is when his story turned the page. What is ownership? Ownership means this: my life is my responsibility. Even if bad things happen, even if someone hurts you, even if the past was unfair, you still say, I didn't choose the beginning, but I will choose the ending. It means you don't wait for rescue. You don't wait for perfect timing. You act with what you have, where you are. Ownership is not about shame. It's not about guilt. It's about power, the power to change your future. Blame repeats the past. Responsibility builds the future. Let's compare two people. Person A says, I failed because my boss didn't support me. Person B says, I failed, and I'm going to learn why, grow, and come back stronger. Which one writes a better story? Blame creates victims. Responsibility creates creators. You can either complain or you can build, but you can't do both. Real life shift. From excuse to empowerment. Let's say you want to start a YouTube channel. You might say, I don't have a fancy camera. My English is not perfect. I'm nervous about what people will say. I don't know how to edit. But taking ownership means saying, I will start with my phone. I will improve my English by doing it. I will post for those who need me, not for those who judge me. I will learn editing slowly, step by step. That's how stories are rewritten. Not with perfection, but with permission. Permission to begin. The ownership formula. 3 powerful steps. 1. Accept what is. Say it out loud. This is where I am right now. It's not perfect, but it's real. Don't lie to yourself. Don't sugarcoat it. Face it like a warrior, because truth is the first step toward transformation. 2. Ask what can I do? Not who is to blame, not why is this happening, but what can I do today to move forward? That one question can change your entire mindset. 3. Take the smallest step forward. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for help. Just take one small step, then another, and another. That's how mountains are moved. You can't change your life by waiting for someone else to fix it. You can't rewrite your story while holding the pen in someone else's hand. Your life is your book. Your future is your blank page. Your hands hold the pen, and the ink is your daily actions. So today, take ownership. Say goodbye to blame. Say hello to power. You were not born to be a victim. You were born to be a creator. Now go and create a life worth writing about. Part 5. Choose growth over comfort. The pain that builds power. Why most people never change their story. Let's be honest. Everyone wants to grow. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants a better life. But when it's time to wake up early, time to study when others are sleeping, time to work when no one is clapping, time to stay strong when life hits hard, most people choose comfort over growth. Because growth is not soft. It is not easy. It is not always pleasant. Growth feels like pain first, but later, it becomes your power. Pain is not the enemy. It's the builder. You can't build muscles without stretching. You can't become wise without failing. You can't write a new story if you're scared to leave the old one. Pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. But here's the problem. Most people want change without discomfort. They want success without sacrifice. They want to grow, but only if it's easy. That's not how new stories are written. Real change begins when you step out of the comfort zone and say, I know this will hurt, but I also know it will help. Example, the shoemaker's son who built a fashion empire. Let me give you a powerful example. Let's call him Marco. Marco grew up in a tiny village. His father repaired shoes. They had no car, no savings, no luxuries. Everyone in the village expected Marco to take over the shop. And he did. For a while. But Marco had a secret dream. To become a fashion designer. He had no degree, No rich uncle, no internet, just a heart full of fire and hands full of blisters from working. He worked all day fixing old shoes and spent his nights drawing shoe designs on old newspapers. One day, he took a 14-hour bus to the city and showed his sketches to factories. They laughed at him, said his ideas were too simple. He came back, but didn't quit. He saved for 3 years, bought scrap material, made his first shoe sample. Eventually, one factory agreed to produce a small batch. Today, his shoes are worn by celebrities in Milan, Italy. Marco's life changed, not because he waited for comfort, but because he walked through the fire of discomfort. Comfort feels safe, but it's a trap. Comfort says, don't speak up, people will laugh. Don't try, you might fail. Don't dream big, it hurts when it breaks. Don't stand out, just fit in. And if you listen to comfort too long, you become a prisoner. You live the same year again and again, until you're 70 and full of regret. Your soul was built for adventure, not for the sofa. Growth is a hard road, but it leads to freedom. Growth says, it will hurt, but you'll heal stronger. It will challenge you, but you'll become sharper. It will scare you, but you'll build courage. It will be lonely, but you'll meet your true self. Growth is not glamorous. Sometimes you'll cry. Sometimes you'll fail. Sometimes people will not understand you. But every time you stretch beyond what you thought was possible, you write a new page in your story. How to start choosing growth daily. Here's how you can start. 1. Do one hard thing every day. It doesn't have to be big. Speak English for 10 minutes. Wake up 1 hour earlier. Do 20 push-ups. Say no to sugar. Ask for feedback. Face one fear. Small discomforts build daily strength. 2. Replace easy with right. Stop asking, what's the easiest way? Start asking, what's the right way? Easy will please you today. Right will build you for life. 3. Journal your growth. Every night, write. What did I do today that made me uncomfortable? What lesson did I learn? What am I proud of today? This simple habit creates awareness, and awareness turns pain into power. Bonus thought. Pain that has a purpose. Pain without reason is suffering, but pain with a purpose becomes fuel. The gym hurts, but it builds muscle. Studying hurts, but it builds knowledge. Waking up early hurts, but it builds momentum. Starting from 0 hurts, but it builds character. Let your pain build something. Don't waste it by running from it. Comfort is a slow killer. It looks harmless, but it keeps you small. Growth is your fire. It burns, but it shapes you into someone you were meant to become. So if you want to change your life story, say this: I will not choose the soft pillow over the hard truth. I will not choose easy distractions over difficult goals. I will not stay in a story that keeps me asleep, because this is your moment. Comfort will keep you safe, but growth will set you free. Part 6. Surround yourself with power. People who pull you forward. You become who you're around. Let's begin with one powerful truth. If you walk with 5 brave people, you become the 6th. If you walk with 5 lazy people, you become the 6th. If you walk with 5 people who never change, you too will stay the same. We don't realize it, but the people around us are constantly shaping our beliefs, our actions, and our mindset. They affect how we talk, how we think, and how we dream. You may have the desire to change your life story, but if you're surrounded by people who doubt, mock, gossip, or stay stuck, your fire will slowly fade. Changing your life is not just about changing habits. It's also about changing your circle. Energy is contagious. If you sit with people who complain all day, you start complaining. If you talk to people who always talk about others, you become judgmental. If you're around people who fear taking risks, your courage dies slowly. If you walk with those who love learning, growing, working, you become unstoppable. People don't just share words, they share energy. And that energy either lifts you or locks you in the same old story. Example: the boy who left his friends to find himself. Thomas was an average student in school. His friends joked, played games all day, skipped homework, and made fun of serious students. Thomas also followed them. But deep inside, he had a dream: to become an engineer and support his family. Every time he studied, his friends mocked him. They said, "Why so serious? Come on, just enjoy life." He started feeling guilty for dreaming. One day during a science quiz, he won first place. His friends didn't clap, they ignored him. That night, he asked himself, "Why am I scared of becoming better just to keep my friends comfortable?" So he made a hard decision. He started sitting with different students. He stopped hanging out with those who pulled him down. It was lonely at first, but it gave him focus, peace, and growth. Today, Thomas is a software engineer in a top company, and those same friends are still laughing at others. What changed? Thomas changed his circle. He stopped walking with people who stood still. The power of letting go. Sometimes to rise, you have to release. You have to let go of the friend who always brings drama, the cousin who laughs at your dreams, the group that only talks about movies and gossip, the people who discourage every new idea you share. This doesn't mean you hate them. It simply means, I love my future more than I fear being alone. You were not born to shrink so others can feel big. How to find people who pull you forward. You don't need 100 friends. You just need a few real ones who believe in your journey. Here's how you can find and build that circle. 1. Go where growth lives. Spend time in online communities that focus on self-improvement, study groups, book clubs, coaching sessions, gym, library, mastermind groups. Look for people who speak the language of dreams, goals, and growth, not just noise. 2. Learn to be alone without feeling lonely. Sometimes before you find the right people, you have to walk alone for a while. Use that time to read powerful books, watch motivational videos, work on your goals, get to know yourself. Because when you become strong alone, you attract people who are strong too. 3. Be the person you want to meet. Want honest people? Be honest. Want motivated friends? Be motivated. Want deep conversations? Stop gossiping. You attract what you reflect. Start becoming the version of you that your future team would be proud to walk with. Evaluate your circle. A simple exercise. Ask yourself, do these people lift me or limit me? Do they make me feel small or strong? Do they grow or just go in circles? Would my future self thank me for being in this group? If the answer is no, you already know what to do. A short story of change. A girl named Aisha loved art. She dreamed of becoming a designer. Her family said, "Artists don't earn." Her friends said, "That's not a real career." Her relatives said, "You'll regret it." But one day she joined an online art course. There she met other artists, mentors, and designers. They shared tools, encouragement, and support. Today, she sells her designs globally. One shift changed her story. She changed who she listened to. You cannot write a new story while listening to the voices of your old limits. So choose carefully. Walk with people who dream big. Talk with people who speak life into your future. Sit with those who celebrate your growth, not fear it. You are not just changing your habits. You're changing your atmosphere. You're planting your future in better soil. Because when your circle is full of power, you will become unstoppable. Part 7. Be the author, not the audience. Write your own ending. Everyone is watching a story. Few are writing one. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is watching a movie, watching a video, watching someone's life on social media, and somewhere else, someone is writing a book, creating a business, changing their life story with every action. Here's the difference. One is the audience. One is the author. Most people spend their lives watching others succeed, watching others live their dreams, watching others build, grow, and lead. But life was never meant to be spent in the audience. You were not born to just clap for others. You were born to create, to lead, and to write your own story. Your story isn't over unless you quit. Some people say, "It's too late. I've failed too much. I come from nothing. No one believes in me." But here's the truth. You are not your past. You are the pen in your hand right now. No matter how many pages are full of pain, you can still write a powerful next chapter. Even if the world gave you a broken beginning, you can still give yourself a brilliant ending. Because the most powerful stories don't come from perfection. They come from people who refuse to stop writing. Real life-inspired story. The janitor who became a teacher. Samuel worked as a janitor in a small school. He cleaned floors, emptied trash, wiped desks, every day for 12 years. But every time he entered a classroom, he listened. He listened to the lessons, watched how the teachers spoke, and wrote down new words he didn't understand. He had dropped out of school when he was 14. Everyone told him, "You're just a cleaner now." But inside, Samuel had a secret dream, to become a teacher. So he started studying after his shift. With tired eyes and sore hands, he read one page every night, then one chapter, then one book. He failed his first exam. He failed the second. But he didn't stop. After 5 years, he passed. He got a degree. He became a teacher in the same school where he used to clean the floors. When he walked into class for the first time, he whispered to himself, "This is the chapter I waited my whole life to write." Stop letting others write your story. Many people live stories that don't even belong to them. Why? Because they give the pen to others, to fear, to society, to people who don't believe in them, to past trauma, to failure. They let someone else decide what they can or cannot be. Never let someone else's small mind define your big story. Your life is your book, and it's time to take the pen back. You are the writer. So write something worth reading. Start where you are, with what you have, even if it's not perfect. Start messy. Start small. Start now. Write the story of the person who fell down, but stood back up, was doubted, but believed anyway, was laughed at, but kept dreaming, had nothing, but gave everything. Write the story you'll be proud to read when you're 80. How to start writing your new story today. Here's how you begin. 1. Define the ending you want. Ask yourself, how do I want my life to look 5 years from now? What kind of person do I want to become? What do I want people to remember when they hear my name? Get clear about the ending. Then write backward. 2. Break it into chapters. Just like books have chapters, so does your life. Each chapter has a purpose. Chapter of learning, where you gain skills. Chapter of struggle, where you grow strength. Chapter of silence, where you build in the dark. Chapter of action, where you move forward. Chapter of change, where you become someone new. Respect each chapter, even the painful ones. They all have a role in your story. 3. Rewrite the negative narratives. Maybe someone told you, you're not smart. You'll never make it. You're not meant for big things. Pause. Breathe. Pick up your pen and write, I am not their opinion. I am not their fear. I am not their limit. I am the author. I decide how this ends. You can't go back and change the first few chapters of your life, but you can start a new page today. And what you write next can make the old pages look like a setup for a comeback. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the applause. Just begin. Your story is not finished. The ink is still flowing. The pen is in your hand. So stop watching. Start writing. Because you're not just part of a story. You are the story. And it's time the world hears it. Before you go, if this video touched your heart, if it gave you even one spark of motivation, then don't keep that fire to yourself. Like this video. It tells us that you're ready to rewrite your life story. Share it with someone who needs this message today. And most importantly, subscribe. Not just to this channel, but subscribe to a better version of yourself, to growth, to greatness, to the life you truly deserve. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we change them. Subscribe now, and together, let's write a story the world will never forget.